Welcome to this video on the EOSCA charm calculator software, ECCOS. In this video we'll look at how to input data into the system. In a previous video we walked through the installation process, so you should have a link on your desktop or somewhere to start ECCOS. You then need to log in using your username and password. And then this is the first screen you will see, or home screen. The main part of the window is the work area or workspace, and this will always display the most recently used applications, products and substances. Because we have a new installation, the substance and products are blank. On the left hand side is the menu bar, where you can switch to applications, products, installations and substances. Testing is where all the information about test species, test protocols, suppliers and laboratories is held, and the admin section is where you can upload your company logo. If we select products, we can see there are currently no products in the database. You may also have noticed that the side menu collapsed to show only icons. This is to save space on the screen and give you a larger working area. Should you wish to keep the full menu bar, you can click on the arrow at the bottom and the pin to pin it in place. If we go back to the home screen and click the Applications tab, we can see that all the standard charm application algorithms are already programmed into the system. Cleaning, cementing, production, drilling and so on. We can also create user-defined applications from scratch by clicking New Application, or based on one of the standard ones by editing it and saving it as a new application. For example, site-specific scenarios. The next tab is Products. But as we have already seen, there are no products in the database yet. On the Installation tab, we just have the three standard installations currently: oil, gas and drilling. These are the default or generic installations used in charm HQ or hazard quotient assessments. Once again at the top we have the option of creating a new installation, which will allow you to generate site-specific assessments, a charm RQ or risk quotient. Now on the Substance tab we can build a list of substances or components that are used in our products. And we will come back and do that in a short while. First we will finish reviewing the tabs. Next is Testing. Here we have a series of sub-tabs across the top of the work area. Test Organisms already has all the standard test species you are likely to use, but you can add additional species here should you need to. For example, if there are non-standard North Sea organisms. Next is Toxicity Test Protocols, and again all the standard ones are already available. Some protocols are repeated with slight variations to allow backwards compatibility with the previous NEX software. Then we have bioaccumulation protocols and biodegradation protocols. In suppliers you will want to list your supplying legal entities. These details will be used in producing a partially completed HOCNF for a product. The boxes here allow you to search and filter your data. However, as we can see, there are no suppliers listed. If we click the New Supplier button, we can fill in some details. Complete all the required fields, including a company name. The company number is for your own use. The contact details and emergency number are the ones that you put on your HOCNF form normally. Finally, click Save and Close. Let's speed things up while I input another supplier. Now we have two suppliers in the list, and I can use the filters to find the one I am after. Typing A filters the suppliers and leaves just Acme. The same filter concept works for the other fields too. The final subtab under Testing is Laboratories, and we'll quickly enter a couple of test laboratories similar to how we entered suppliers. The final main tab we'll have a look at is Admin. Here on the first sub-tab you can specify the company name and upload a logo. You can also register a new license when applicable. You can also manage users if you have a multiple user license. You can export your database into an Excel format for use or upload elsewhere. There is also the facility to migrate a previous database from the earlier NEX program. And finally there is the audit log. This is a very useful tool and allows you to interrogate when any value has been changed in the database. So if you find an issue, you can find out when it occurred and by which user, and allows you to correct any impacted data and to focus any training or operating procedure reviews. As with all screens, you can filter the data using the text boxes along the top. Going back to the home page, we'll select substances and start entering data for some of our components. First, we'll click New Substance, and then we get this data entry screen. We'll enter water first. We start with the substance name, usually the chemical name. This is what will appear in the HOCNF. You can also use a user reference. This might be an internal raw material reference or supplier chemical name. Next is the CAS number. You can put the REACH registration number in if you have this. Next is the substance REACH Annex 4 exempt, and then the EC number. We can input a molecular weight. Is the substance planar, inorganic, a polymer, a candidate for substitution? And if so, you can note on what is driving the sub-warning. Because the substance is planar, there is no further data required, so we can just click Save and Close. Next, we'll add in ethanol. CAS number, we can skip the REACH number. It isn't REACH Annex 4. EC number, and ethanol is planar as well. And we'll save this one too. Now we'll enter details for the more complex substance, DMA. Chemical name, CAS number, skip the REACH number, it's not Annex 4, EC number, enter a molecular weight, it's not planar, it's not inorganic, it's not a polymer. There is no substitution warning, and it isn't a surfactant. And then we move over to the right hand side of the work area. First we complete the biodegradation data. We can just put a single result in here, 69% in 28 days, and then select from the drop down which test protocol was used, which laboratory, and the report number. If you would like to use the substance in products and produce HOCNFs, then the reference substance is needed, and then input the individual test results. Enter the test reading time point and the percentage degradation for the test substance and reference substance. Complete this for all time points. That then completes the biodegradation data. Next is bioaccumulation. Enter the laboratory, test protocol, report number, and then you can input the peak values. We can also enter a weighted average value. Finally, for each aquatic toxicity test, we need to click on Add Toxicity Test. Select the biota group, algae, invertebrate, fish or sediment reworker, the organism, the protocol used, the laboratory, results method, was it a nominal or water accommodated fraction, then the report number and the endpoint value. Just be sure to check whether the data is acute or chronic, and you can indicate whether the data is to be used in calculations or not. For instance, where you have more than one data value, you may want to store these but only use one in calculations. Continue to do this to enter the rest of the species and test data. When the toxicity table is complete, we can then save and close. I'm going to go ahead and complete a number of other substances now. So now we have 8 components in our database. We are about ready to create a product. Let's look at how to create products in ECCOS. Just before we leave the substance page, you can see that we can use the filter boxes across the top to filter our list of substances. Typing AMI gives us all the amines and amides, and you can delete this to return to the full list. Any field can be used to filter the list. Select the Product menu tab and we can see we have no products yet. You can either create a minimum dataset product, for example if you have received a CFES template from a supplier, or you can create a full dataset product. Click on the New Full Product button. First we need a product name, then a user reference or product number. The supplier allows you to tie the product to a particular legal entity. If we click on the New Substance button, we can start defining the composition of this product. Select a substance from the list of substances. Enter the percentage of the substance in the composition and click Add. Repeat the process to complete the composition of your product. A running total percentage of the composition is shown. On the right side you have the option of adding product level data if you have this in the same way as you do for substances. Click Save to finalise your product. Let's have a look at how to output a partially completed HOCNF form for your product, saving you time and avoiding typos and mistakes. Still on the Edit Product page, we have an option to generate HOCNF. Click this button. You have the opportunity to amend or adjust the trade name, and you need to select the supplier or relevant legal entity for this product. This is the information that will appear on the HOCNF form. If you haven't already included your company details in the Suppliers sub-tab under Testing, then you will need to add your details there. And then click Generate. The system will then generate your HOCNF form in Word format. Here is the HOCNF form, and we can see the company details have been completed in section 1.2. The table in section 1.4 will need to be completed manually because these details are not captured in ECCOS. Likewise, the fate in section 1.5 will need to be completed. In section 1.6a, however, we can see that our composition information has been populated in the table, including that ethanol is Plona. Similarly, the composition is reflected in section 1.6b and relevant checkbox is marked. The surfactant types and fraction released are completed here. Section 1.7 will need to be completed by yourself. Moving on to part 2. Here partitioning and bioaccumulation data will appear. Section 2.3 is completed with all the details of the aquatic toxicity data that are entered in the database: algae, crustacean, fish, and in this case sediment reworker. The toxicity block is then repeated for the next component. Labs are referred to by a short name and full details for each lab are included as an appendix after the signature page. So we can save this, add in the additional data required, and then submit it to your national authority. By having the database partly complete the form, it ensures that up-to-date data held in the database is used and that there are no errors in copying the data across. Running a hazard or risk assessment in ECCOS. If we return to the home screen, you can see now a list of recent products and recent substances, which can make the workflow quicker. Select Applications, and then I'm going to work with a standard production application. Because this is a standard template, you cannot edit the grayed out fields. If we want to make a site-specific application, then click Create from Template. We will work with the standard template to generate an HQ or hazard quotient value. Under Installation, we can select oil or gas. Then we can select the product we want to use. And then we can either enter a measured concentration in the produced water, if we have that, or, as is more typical, a dose rate or concentration in the flow. You then need to specify where the product is dosed, produce water or total fluids. Finally, click Calculate HQ and ECCOS will calculate the values for you. You can then review the values that are returned. The worst case component, the one driving the assessment, is displayed along with the PEC, PNEC and HQ values. We can also expand the installation details and product details to see all the data for these sections. If we are happy and this is what we were expecting, we can click Generate HQ Report. This will create a PDF document reporting the HQ assessment. This has all the details of your assessment in a printable and shareable document format. The report has all the details of the installation, product, application scenario used, and the individual PEC and PNEC values that lead to the HQ result. By default, the system logo will appear on this report, but you can tailor this so that your company logo appears on the report instead. In ECCOS, go to the home screen and select Admin, or you can go directly to the Admin tab. Here there is an option for you to upload your company logo. Click Browse, find the file you wish to use, and select and save. Then we can return to the application and build our assessment again. And now when we generate the report, it has the company logo we selected in the header. We hope this tutorial video has been useful. If so, please give us a thumbs up below and share it with your colleagues. We would also love to hear from you if there are any other topics or aspects of the software you would like covered in a future tutorial video. Thanks for watching.